that I really think there isn't much else to say about an utterance. Obviously, in different registers, there's lots to say. But in the spirit of Jakobsonian analysis, there's no possible complaint you can make about this, except possibly one, which I probably won't get to until next time. But in the meantime, it's just staggeringly effective. And let me use the example of a word, of an expression which is surely as uninteresting. I've groped as much as I could to find the most uninteresting possible expression to show the way in which any utterance whatsoever entails these 6 functions. It is raining. Oh, boy, excitement reigns, as they say. So in any case, let's say that I am an addresser. That is to say, I'm a romantic poet. And I say, probably ill-advisedly if I'm a poet, but I'm a romantic poet, and I say, sort of waking everybody up when I say it, it is raining. All right, what do I mean? What do I mean if I'm a romantic poet? What I mean to say is I'm singing in the rain, or it's raining in my heart. In other words, I'm expressing something emotional in saying it is raining. So that sense of the expression it is raining is what Jakobson calls the emotive function. Now, I'm being addressed. The thrust of the message is toward the addressee. It's being spoken by an addresser, but it's aimed at an addressee. That addressee is a small child going out the door without his coat on. And his mother or father says, "It is raining," right? Which means, of course, as a conative function, as a command, as something which has a design on the addressee, what it means is, put your coat on. But you don't necessarily say, put your coat on. You say, it is raining. And that's the conative function. That's what Jakobson calls the set to the addressee. That is to say, the basic dominant bearing that the message has. The set is a set to the addressee. Now, there's a context for any utterance. This much, I suppose, none of us would think to disagree with. I'm a weatherman. I'm a meteorologist, right? I don't even have to look out the window. I look at my charts, and I announce confidently through the microphone, it is raining, right? And everybody takes me seriously. I mean, the referential function of it is raining is supposed to convey information. I'm a weatherman. I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about. So if a weatherman tells me it is raining, I believe that it is raining. I put my hand out the door, and sure enough, it is raining. And the referential function, the dominant in the expression "it is raining," as referential function, has been confirmed. I don't expect the weatherman to be telling me somehow secretly that he's crying when he says it is raining, right? Right? I expect him to tell me the truth about the weather, right? And that's what I'm listening to him for. All right. Now, the set to the contact, Jakobson gives you those wonderful examples from Dorothy Parker's representation of a date. Oh boy. Well, here we are. Yeah. Here we are. Yeah, we sure are here. And so on, right? In other words, in a state of abject and acute nervousness, filling the air with words, right? So that you're on a date, right? And you can't think of anything to say. I really feel sorry for you. You're on a date, and you can't think of anything to say, so you say, it is raining. And of course, your interlocutor says, yeah, it's raining. And you say, it's raining hard, and you're, well, yeah, maybe it'll stop soon. And so, the conversation continues. And that's the phatic function, checking to make sure the contact is working. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? That's what the set to the contact is. Anything that confirms that you're actually sort of in communication with somebody. And anything we can say has that component. I mean, if I'm a physicist and I'm going out on a date with another physicist, I say E equals mc squared, you know. And I'm not saying E equals mc squared. I'm filling the air with words. And so once again, it's the set to the contact. And any message in the right context has that function. The set to the code is when we're not sure that we adequately share the code with another person on a given occasion, so that we back away from simply saying things to make sure that what we're saying is clear. In other words, to define them. I say there's a mare in the field. Somebody says, what is a mare? Well, it's a female horse. Well, it's a female horse is the metalingual function. But we're talking about it is raining. This is where it really gets interesting. The most interesting thing about it is raining in terms of these 6 functions is metalingual, because what on earth is it? Right? Somebody tells me it is raining. And I say, what? What are you talking about? What is it? I have absolutely no idea what you're saying. I've noticed that other languages have this same weird phenomenon. Il pleut, es regnet. What on earth does any of that mean? What is il? What is es? What is it? Is it God? Is it Jupiter Pluvius? Is it the cloud canopy? Well, it sort of is the cloud canopy, but that's sort of clearly not what's meant by it, right? It is a kind of grammatical and syntactical anomaly which is extremely difficult even for linguists to analyze and to explain. And so that when I try to say it is raining, I can expect the metalingual, and if I'm talking to a literalist, of course, I can expect the metalingual function to kick in and, in fact, bite me in the shin. It's no picnic with the metalingual function in mind saying, it is raining. What kind of a definition of it is it's raining? You know? And so problems arise, but they're interesting problems, and they are a function, one of the 6 functions of the expression, it is raining. Poetic function is unfortunately not very interesting. That's the one drawback of this example, but there's still plenty to say. I, and the I in raining, which one can hear, the double I in raining. The monosyllables suggesting, you know, sort of a kind of a quick declaration of something, followed by a sense of duration that one always feels when one is aware of rain coming down. It is raining, so that the duration or prolongation of the word has a kind of semantic value indicating to us that this is something ongoing. In other words, a variety of ways in which the poetic function of it is raining can be considered. For the poetic function to be dominant, as I suggested when I said a romantic poet wouldn't be very smart if he or she said it was raining, for the poetic function to be dominant would really be taxing for anyone who wanted to make it so. But it could be. Any function could be the dominant in a certain situation of any given utterance. And so so that then sort of perhaps to suffice as an analysis of Jakobson's understanding of the structure of an utterance. And it has a structure insofar, that is to say a metaphoric as opposed to a metonymic structure, insofar as we observe the presence of some kind of pressure from the axis of selection, the principle of equivalence and the axis of selection, bringing itself to bear on the way in which the combination takes place. It's just incredible that, you know, you say it is raining. What could be more prosaic than it is raining? And all of a sudden you notice that string of I's, you notice all kinds of other things about it. I mean, it is the way in which the most banal utterance is combined is likely in one form or another, almost unavoidable. I suppose I should use the strong argument and say unavoidably, is likely unavoidably to entail aspects of the poetic function. Where the poetic function is dominant, you have literariness, and that, of course, is the old object of scientific attention of the Russian formalists. But it is refined in a way that I think is structuralist by Jakobson, because he insists on the binary nature of the process of combining elements from the axis of selection if they are equivalent. Binary being same, opposite, similar, dissimilar, and the variety of patterns in which those relations, same, opposite, similar, dissimilar, can be launched into use. Now,